In this recording, sizobe discuss a question concerning calculus differentiation as well as first principles. It's question 7. In the description box, uzothola links for other recordings for the question paper ka November 2019. 7.1. But it determine f prime of x from first principles if it is given that f of x is equal to 4 minus 7x. Now, first principle, apply this equation for finding a derivative, right? This is first principle. All right, sizoqala f of x plus h, siyam isolator, then we simplify and substitute the equation, the first principle equation. Now, ngiyothatha f of x, and then where there's x, you substitute x plus h. So it's 4 minus, actually it was 4 minus 7x ku f of x, but now I no f of x plus h, where there's x ufaka x plus h, then you distributor the negative 7 inside the bracket, give no 4 minus 7x minus 7h. Now then says we are back to the first principle equation, this one, f of x, f prime of x is equal to the limit of h approaching 0, and then where there's f of x plus h, ngifaka lolu kanje 4 minus 7x minus 7h minus f of x. The f of x is 4 minus 7x, everything divided by h. Then you solve for the bracket again, ngithola minus 4 no plus 7x, and then saying about okay, let's check my like terms. 4 no minus 4 my like terms, they cancel ngoba opposite signs. Minus 7x no plus 7x, they cancel, kusala minus 7 h over h. Ungamkhohlwa limit whenever usebenzisa i-first principle. Ungamkhohlwa umbhala every step of the way until uze usubstitute la. Lana lo h ucancela lo h, ngisala no minus 7, right? And then I have to substitute to h equal to bani 0. You don't substitute to h wako before cancelling. Ungam substitute to h wako la. Meanwhile, h wako asese denominator. You substitute after doing the cancellation. So since lana there's no h, there's no way to substitute. It means that the answer here too is negative 7, right? As we are born now, also apply my differentiation rules la. To find the answer f prime of x, it's equal to negative 7. The derivative for here is negative 7, the derivative for lana is 0. So now I answer here together. Now I answer it. So siyalagu question 7.2, determine dy over dx, first derivative if y is given as 4x raised to exponent 8 plus the square root of x cubed. 7.2, so equation y equal to 4x raised to exponent 8 plus the square root of x cubed. Ngifuna out dy over dx, but dy over dx ayengikhona ukumcalculator because of this square root. So see, apply a board mass. Okay, with differentiation you apply board mass. You apply board mass. If ever there's a bracket, we'll remove a color before you find the derivative. If gonna off isn't as far nabu square root, so right, off include isn't as far nabu square root, you need to simplify that. If net fraction, net division, fraction, you simplify. Yes, multiply, addition, subtraction. What's important is the BOD, bracket of nani ne fraction. So but we only have off, so we simplify for the square root color. The square root singasibhala as 3 over 2. The square root is 1 over 2. Square root is 1 over 2. 1 over 2 times 3, it's 3 over 2. ivela kanjalo ke this thing. This 3 over 2 ivela kanjalo. It's because of half times 3, it's 3 over 2. Now I can find the derivative again, manje. 4 times 8 is 32, and then 8 minus 1 is 7, plus 3 over 2 times 1 is 3 over 2, and then 3 over 2 minus 1 is what? Is 1 over 2. So now I answer it together. Or ngayithatha a step further, uthi equal to 32x7 plus 3 divided by 2, the square root of bani of x. Ngayithatha a step further, we expressing ngale ndlela le, but it's still fine noma uyishiyele la. Now sesiza la kulo kanje ke manje ku 7.3. Given y equal to ax squared plus a, 7.3.1, determine dy over dx. This is the equation abasiphe yona. Yes? And then your differentiator with respect to x. If I differentiate with respect to x, it means a is our constant. Yes? Constant is considered the number. So lana nangiyothola i-derivative la ku a is going to be 0 ngoba it's a constant, and then la ku ax squared is going to be 2ax. dy over dx is equal to 2ax. 7.3.2. Again, sisebenzisa the given equation to find dy over dA. Now we are differentiating with respect to a, meaning x in this time around, x is our constant again. So what's the derivative of a? Uzoba 1, and then the derivative of a x squared. Remember, x squared is a constant. It means that it's going to be x squared. Like derivative ga ax squared is going to be x squared plus 1. The derivative of a is plus 1. So 7.3 uphelela la siyala ku 7.4 ke manje, where they say 7.4, the curve with the equation y equal to x plus 12 over x passes through the point A. Determine the equation of the line perpendicular to the tangent to the curve at A. Okay, interesting. Now a curve yet, right? Here's a curve. I'm just drawing a random part of the curve in question. So this is the curve abakhuluma ngayo. Nangu point A, u2 no B. By the way, sizomdinga lolo kanje. Sizoyidinga ivalue ka B when finding the equation. This is the tangent. M tangent, right? This is the tangent. This is the line of the tangent. And then the perpendicular one, naila. M perpendicular, right? So thina sifuna the equation for this perpendicular line. Okay. 7.4. Into yokuqala esingayenza la is to find the y coordinate for bani, for B, right? The y coordinate for B, the value for B, which is the y coordinate of A. So these are the coordinates for A. The x coordinate to 2, and then the y coordinate is B. We want the value for bani, for B. So therefore, since the point A is also found on the curve, singa substitute onto the curve B, the y value B equal to lagno x khona ngifaka 2, and then 2 plus 12 over 2 is 8. So therefore B weight is equal to bani 8. Now bheka ke manje, asho ngifuna the equation of the line perpendicular to the tangent at bani, at A. Back. The first derivative of the curve izosipha the gradient for the tangent. The gradient for the tangent. Why ngidinga the gradient for the tangent? It's because of, in order to find the equation of the tangent line, I need a gradient for the tangent for the perpendicular line and 1 point. The 1 point one is to sebenzisa ama coordinates ka A, but I also need the gradient for the perpendicular line. So in order to find the gradient for the perpendicular line, ngidinga the gradient for the tangent. So dy over dx, finding its derivative for this equation, it's going to be 1. The derivative of x, it's 1. The derivative of 12 over x is in fact minus 12 over x squared. I'm sure it's going to be 12x minus 1. The derivative of this is equal to minus 12 over x raised to exponent minus 2 equal to minus 12 over x squared when simplified. Therefore, the derivative of this is equal to negative 12 over x squared. Now, the gradient for the, what's this? The gradient for the tangent, you told by substituting ubani x for coordinate bani a into the derivative. So what is 12 divided by x squared? It's 12 divided by 4, which is 3. 1 minus 3, it's equal to negative 2. So the gradient for the tangent is equal to minus 2. But we know with the perpendicular lines, whenever we multiply, you must get negative 1. The gradients for my perpendicular lines. Now I multiply with all minus 1. So the gradient for the tangent, when multiplied by the perpendicular lines, we told minus 1. So the gradient for the for the perpendicular line is going to be equal to, so substitute our m, the gradient for the tangent, minus 2, then the gradient for the perpendicular line is 1 over 2. Then sesizalana ke manje funa the equation of the perpendicular line. Yothi y minus y1, it's the y coordinate for a, which is 8, equal to the perpendicular line gradient, it's 1 over 2 x, and then x1 or 2. Therefore y is over equal to 1 over 2 times x, it's 1 over 2x, and then 1 over 2 times minus 2, it's minus 1. Nang transpose 8, you figure ngale positive 8, so negative 1 times plus positive 8, it's a positive 7. So this is our equation for the perpendicular line. So our question 7 iphelela lana. In the description box uzothola ama links for other recordings. Nangabe uthole some value, show support by liking, sharing and subscribing. For now guys, asibonane on the next video. If you click on one of the videos below uzongithola ngisakhuluma le. Peace.